Good morning. How's everybody doing today? Happy Thursday. I just wanted to let you guys know real quick before I forget that YouTube has updated, and this has been since probably like January, I think it is. But a lot of whenever I move or add things to a playlist or create a playlist, it'll send out a notification. Now, this is something they do excellent, right? They send out these notifications in a very, very timely fashion. But so it makes it appear as if I've uploaded like new videos, but what I've really done is just created a playlist and moved videos to the playlist. I just wanted you guys to know that, so you're not like, oh man. Thank you, Allie79. Good morning, Lupe. Good morning, Shamana. Good morning, Anita. And good morning, Allie79. Good morning, good morning, good morning. All right. So, are we ready for this cross-examination that's going to take place? I am. I'm. I'm very curious about it. As we saw yesterday, it got a little contentious. I think that it was very evident, and I don't actually blame Johnny, as we are now on first name basis. But what I'll say is, hang on a second. Um, I don't think I'm hopeful that, excuse me, that it isn't that way today. That it was just the end of a very long trial day, and that you know, it was a long day. People get tired. People get crabby. I know I do, and so I can't like actually blame Johnny Depp for being a little feisty yesterday. What the heck, Jen? Come on, wake up, pay attention. Um, oh my God. Oh, there we go. Um, anyway, I can't actually blame him for being a little contentious and feisty yesterday because, it was a long day. There were a lot of subjects covered. And especially at the very end of the day, when it really got into, I mean, the last question they asked, his lawyer asked him was like, how has this situation affected you? Right. And I mean, he said it's ruined everything for him, and I understand that. The truth of the matter is, and this is my opinion, obviously, but good morning, Hope for Peace. My opinion is that there are some allegations that once they're made, there's no coming back from. You never come back completely, even if the allegations are proven false. You're completely cleared, and I don't mean cleared like in the legal sense. I mean actual innocence. There's a difference between legally innocent and actually innocent, right? Um, you know, well, they don't really find you innocent legally. They actually find you not guilty. That's different. And then actual innocence. And there are certain allegations, like I said, that don't they that I mean, it is what it is, you know, you don't come back from. And this is one of those situations. This is that type of allegation. You just don't come back from that kind of um, allegation, and it's the truth. So, um, yeah, I understand his frustration. I understand why he's upset. So, the other thing that I wanted to talk to you about is this is what I was also thinking about this too. This is nothing related to the actual case. It's actually related to the coverage. I was thinking that today what I'm going to do is I will stream the morning part of the testimony and chat with all you lovelies and all that. But then this afternoon, I think I'm not going to stream. I think what I'm going to do is go live tonight and talk about it because I feel like I've been a little bit neglecting my nighttime viewers, and I don't want to do that, you know. But if I spread myself too thin, um, then I get like tired and I'm not as funny, and I'm just not, you know, the Jen Lu that you come to watch, I suppose. Um, so I want to, you know, I want to give you guys my best, and I'm not so sure the way that if I keep going this way that I can do that because y'all, your girl's tired for reals. Like this has been intense, and I have to really give it up to the creators that can that don't even take a break at the lunch hour, that they stream the entire you know, 8 9 hours of court because in the words of Bob Dylan, it ain't me, babe. So, you know, ah, Anita, so sweet. Yeah, so I think this is a good compromise, right? I get to chill out with you guys in the morning, and we get to be, you know, have our little chats, and then we can also do it at night. And this way, you know, I think it's better that way. I think it'll work better for everybody, honestly. Um, and I just want to keep reminding you guys that yes, I I have not heard any differently. I believe the part 2 of the Chris Watts roast is still a go for Saturday night. So I can't wait for that. We need a little levity. All right, they're coming into the courtroom now. Let me fix my screen. Oh, we've got hugs and all the things. Isn't that nice? Amber, what are you doing with your hair today, lady? Not hold on a second. Let me make it on my yeah, if I go over here I can see better. I just don't completely understand her outfit choices. And I'm not gonna, you know, it is what it is. I'm allowed to say that. And there's Mr. Man, Johnny Depp. I think he is appropriately dressed for what's about to go down in the courtroom today. I just really hope that he has gotten a good night's rest and realize that he cannot lose his cool with the testimony. I don't think let me go back over to the other. Okay, it looks like the bump it is gone from the back of the ponytail. That's nice. I'm glad to see that. I wish he would have worn his hair down. I like when his hair is down, but that's just me, and that has nothing to do with the actual reason we're here. It doesn't make him, you know, it doesn't make him less or more believable, his hairstyle. It's just a personal preference and an observation and the commentary of me. So yeah. Yeah. Oh, you guys are quiet. You must be working. I get it. I get it. And Allie 79 and I were talking about what happened yesterday, and both of us were like annoyed. And hey, Amelia, like that the defense is trying to present the case as cut and dry, and that it's all about this op-ed. And I couldn't disagree more. The truth, and I get why they're doing that, but it's annoying. Oh wait, what's going on with this hairdo, Johnny?
Good morning. All right. Do we have any preliminary matters before the jury?
Their volume is their volume.
Okay,
I have
we
it
can do
turned as loud as I can, you guys. Just FYI, might have to, if you're
1450.
wearing earbuds or whatever, turn it up.
All right, move redactions. All right, that's already been entered in evidence. We'll just,
Yeah, it's very packed.
thank you. Anything else?
We have the thumb drive with the
With
additional.
with the knife pictures on it for me, 92 and 93. Great. Thank you. All right. I'll take any evidence you have. Perfect. All right. Anything further?
It's so packed. I cannot
right,
spot
we're ready for the
Molly,
jury.
but if you guys spot her, let me know. Look, I admire. Hey, Chick Tracy, I admire Molly Golightly's tenacity in going and waiting in the line every day to get a ticket to get not a ticket, but a seat to get in. Exactly, Amelia. Exactly. That's annoying because it's not what it's about. It's what it is, in my opinion, is the fact of the matter is she's been saying these things for quite some time. These allegations are not new. However, in my opinion, it was the reference to the 2 years and that it was her own actual, she took credit for writing that piece. And that is what was the that's what opened the door for this lawsuit.
Good morning,
It's
ladies and
not just
gentlemen.
about
Have
this
a
article,
seat.
but the article opened the
All right.
door. That's how I should put it.
Cross-examination.
All right, let's get to it. Mr. Depp, harness your chi and focus, focus, focus. Don't let them rile you.
Morning, Mr. Depp.
Morning, Mr. Rodenborn.
Yes, 2 days ago, when you first took the stand, you discussed your upbringing and some of the abuse that you suffered at the hands of your mother. Do you remember that?
Yes, I do.
And you testified how she abused you physically, right?
Yes, sir.
Throwing things at you, hitting you.
Yeah, there was quite various forms of physical abuse.
And she abused you verbally by insulting you and your siblings, right?
Yes, she did.
And you testified that sometimes that verbal abuse, that emotional abuse was worse than the beatings, right? Do you remember that?
As a child, it has more of an opportunity to plant itself in your head.
Sure.
Yes.
So you'd agree that abuse can take many forms. It can be physical, can be verbal, can be emotional, right?
Indeed.
And you testified that your dad wasn't abusive, but that you saw him punch walls when he was in an argument with your mother sometimes, right?
Excuse me. I witnessed my father, the only reaction that would be called a physical reaction from the abuse he was very stoically taking from my mother. I saw him maybe twice, 3 times punch a wall. Once, as I said, once he punched the corner of the wall, and I watched his hand, his hand, basically shatter.
Right. Mr. Depp, your walls weren't the only thing that your father punched, were they? In fact, once he punched you in the face and knocked you down, didn't he?
Yes, when I was 15 years old, this was just before I'd dropped out of high school. One morning, yes, in my mind, I was done with school. So he had asked me to, I believe it was something, it was very, he asked me to take the dog for a walk or something, or take out the garbage, something menial, something strange. And I just said, no. And he gave me he just gave me a quick shot. pretty hefty. And it rattled my head, it rattled the cage, and Tweety
Sure.
birds and stuff, sure.
So the jury hadn't heard about that before. When he punched you in the face, it actually knocked you to the ground. And then when you got up, you were all too happy to take care of what he wanted you to take care of, right?
I was excited to take care of it at that
Right.
point.
And yesterday, I believe that you testified, why would you hit someone to make them agree with you? It doesn't work. You gave that testimony yesterday, didn't you?
Yes,
Now, you try to conduct yourself as a gentleman, right?
yes, sir.
And you think that you live up to the standards of a Southern gentleman, right?
That was essentially, when you have deep, deep roots in the South, in Kentucky and such, it's not just your parents, your father, your mother, it's your grandparents, it's your uncles, it's your aunts, it's this, it's that. It's yes, raised to be a Southern gentleman. That is to say, when chivalry was still alive and allowed.
Right. And you think you live up to the standards of a Southern gentleman, correct?
I believe I do. I certainly have done my best all my life.
Paul Bettany's a good friend that you've done drugs with, right?
That's a strange question. Paul Bettany is a good friend. Yes.
You've done drugs with him.
Yes, I have.
Cocaine, right?
Cocaine, yes.
Alcohol,
Alcohol, yes.
pills, including Xanax and Adderall, right?
Mm, that I'm not so sure of.
Okay.
Where's he gone?
Your Honor, may we approach?
All
I
right.
just want to discuss one thing with you,
Okay.
Ms. Myers.
Thank you.
Mr. Depp, you remember giving testimony in the trial in the UK, correct?
Yes.
And you gave that testimony under oath, right?
Yes.
You gave quite a bit of testimony in that trial, right?
I wouldn't be able to judge that myself. It felt like a lot.
Okay, well, let's take a look at some of it. If you can turn to page 45, please, in front of you.
Now,
It's page 12 of the document. There's 4 transcript
I
pages.
see page
on-
12 of the document, certainly.
Yes, sir.
they're going to this. We talked about this yesterday. This is their first line of, well, really, I think it's probably like their second line of defense. They've got to prove him a liar, and the only way to do this is to impeach testimony.
And
12 of the document, you say?
yes. in
So
the lower
brace
left corner,
yourselves, because this
there's
probably
a
gonna be
page
rude.
45. Do you see that?
Yes, I do.
Okay. And you see that on the bottom of that page, there's a discussion of Paul Bettany and the drugs that you did together. And there was a question. The question is, any sort of pills and your answer is yes, there could have been Xanax, or if he asked for Xanax or Adderall, whatever, I would of course give it to him. Question, so you would supply Paul Bettany with whatever medication or controlled drugs he asked for, is that right? Answer, if he was feeling anxious or if he was feeling unpleasant, I would give him what he asked for. Question, would you give him a Xanax? Answer, yes. Did I read that right?
You certainly did, yes, sir.
And you shared, the two of you shared an enjoyment of controlled drugs or alcohol at that time, right?
The two of us were making a film together.
With respect, sir, that wasn't my question. My question was the two of you shared an enjoyment of controlled drugs and alcohol at that time. Yes or no?
At times.
And Ms. Hurd was quite adamant that you didn't drink anymore and that you should stop using recreational drugs, right?
Oh, yes.
And she didn't like it when you were high on drugs or drunk on alcohol, right?
She didn't like it when it was her perception that I was high on drugs. Her perception is quite different than the truth.
And that's what we're after, is the truth. Let's turn to,
Yes, sir.
can you pull up Exhibit 178, please, Michelle?
Is that defendants 178 or?
Yes, Your Honor. I'm
Okay,
sorry.
that's all right. I just want to make sure.
Oh,
Mr. Depp,
Objection, Your Honor.
All right.
Can we approach, please?
Okay, sure.
Mr. Depp, this is a text message exchange that you had with Paul Bettany on June 11th, 2013, correct?
yes. Correct.
Your Honor, permission to move for admission of redacted Defendants Exhibit 178 and permission to publish, please.
We, based off of Your Honor's ruling,
All right.
that's fine.
178 with redactions.
Michelle, could you please blow up the first text at the top? In this text, Mr. Depp, You text Mr. Bettany, let's burn Amber, 3 exclamation points, right? You see that?
I do see that.
And at this time, June 11th, 2013, Amber is your girlfriend or perhaps even your fiance at this point, correct?
Girlfriend,
Yeah.
for sure.
And you didn't stop when you said, let's burn Amber. Because the next text down, you can move down and blow up the next text, please, Michelle. You say, let's drown her before we burn her, 3 exclamation points. Did I read that right?
Yes, it's referring
and
to the
you
text
didn't-
prior to.
You didn't
From Mr.
stop when you
Bettany.
said, let's drown her before we burn her. After that, you made another comment, and I'd like to apologize to the court and to the jury for some of the language that I'm going to have to use today, but unfortunately, you're going to see a lot of documents with language like this. After you said, let's drown her before we burn her, Mr. Depp, you
Yes.
said, I will fuck her burnt corpse afterwards to make sure she is dead. That's what you said that you would do after you burned her and after you drowned her. Did I read that right?
You certainly did, yes.
And you wrote that about the woman who would later become your wife.
Yes, I did.
Can you pull up Exhibit 245, please? Your Honor, there's been no objection to this exhibit, and so I'd move for its admission and ask for permission to publish to the jury.
Give them a moment.
There's-
Your Honor, we have no objection to the portions that have Mr. Depp's text messages, but at the bottom portion, there is some from his daughter that we would ask be redacted.
Okay, the last two.
And Your Honor, that's okay, but there was no objection to this
I
on the
understand, but
exhibit list.
they don't appear to be relevant, which.
That's fine. We're happy to redact those.
Good morning to everybody just joining us. Welsh Pam, Tony, who anybody I missed, I'm sorry. I was changing out laundry. I'm sorry. I still have 2 adults.
So 245 in evidence with the redactions.
Yes, Your
Yes,
Honor.
Your Honor.
Okay.
Thank you.
Mhm.
Mr. Depp, the top text message, we're going to focus on a couple of these, but the top text message is a text from you to Paul Bettany on May 30th, 2014, correct? Might need to scroll over, Michelle.
Hey, Coolest
May
Reviews.
30th,
Good to see ya.
2014, yes.
And you recall that you testified yesterday about the flight that you took from Boston to Los Angeles on May 24th, 2014, right?
Yes,
You remember that? Okay.
yes, I did.
And you testified yesterday that you didn't have any drinks before that flight, or maybe you had a glass of champagne or something. Remember giving that testimony?
Yes, I believe I said I had a glass of champagne on the plane.
Right. So in this text, if you could blow up, Michelle, please, that top text. On May 30th, 2014, you texted Mr. Bettany, just a little bit smaller. You texted Mr. Bettany, I'm going to properly stop the booze thing, darling. Drank all night before I picked Amber up to fly to LA this past Sunday. Ugly, mate. No food for days. Powders. Half a bottle of whiskey. 1,000 Red Bull and vodkas. Pills. 2 bottles of champers on plane. And what do you get? An angry aggro engine in a fucking blackout, screaming obscenities and insulting any fuck who got near. I'm done. I'm admittedly too fucked in the head to spray my rage at the one I love. Read that again. I'm admittedly too fucked in the head to spray my rage at the one I love. For little reason as well. I'm too old to be that guy, but pills are fine. Did I read that right?
Yes, you did.
And when you said pills are fine, this was when you were just starting treatment with Dr. Kipper to try to get off of the pills that you testified about yesterday, right?
This is when I was still on the oxycodone. It was before the detox on the island, yes.
Right, and you testified that when you were in Boston filming Black Mass, which you flew from Boston to LA, that you had just retained Dr. Kipper to help you try to combat that pill problem, right?
Yes.
Could you go 2 texts down, please, Michelle? And this is a text that you sent on June 8th, 2014. Just scroll over to Patty Smith. You see that?
Yes, I do.
Okay. And in this text, I won't read all of it, but you say this, I'm going to just read the first paragraph. My darling Patty Lee, I miss you and worship you, and there is nothing wrong between us. Never, ever could that happen. I've just been so beyond busy with film here in Boston and then back to LA for kiddies. When I was in NYC, they were brief visits and fucked and charged by horrific fights with Amber. I fucked up and drank and got shitty. Was so disappointed in myself. Actually, almost walked to your place at about 3:30 a.m. the last time I was there, unable to stop tears. Did I read that right?
You did.
Michelle, can you please take that down and let's pull up.
All I can think of is Patti
Exhibit
Smith,
325.
the musician.
Please. Mr. Depp, is this a text message exchange that you had with
Oh,
Ms. Heard
Here we go with the sad
on
face.
December 18th,
Oh, she rolled her eyes.
2014?
Mm.
I see that.
Your Honor, I would move for admission of this exhibit and ask for permission to publish.
All right, any objection?
May I have a look at the,
Of course.
You can look at the
Your Honor,
bottom.
may we approach real quick?
Okay, sure.
This is the part that I understand that what they're doing or what they're attempting to do. Okay, I get it, right? Oh, is it, Lupe? Look how smart I am sometimes. Yay, Jin Lu. Okay, so anyway, I got distracted because now I'm trying to remember what that reference is from, and I can't close reviews. Hey, Paula. Good morning. Oh, I'm glad you chose to spend your day off with us over here at the ward. I understand what the purpose of this is for, right? These are attempts to show that Johnny Depp is taking accountability for all the things, right? It's because of his drug use and excessive drinking, and he's taking accountability and and it's his fault, right? You know,
And Michelle, if you could just scroll down as
what I'll say about that is this.
the court.
Let's say that's true. Let's say that what precipitated all of the fallouts at this point was drugs and alcohol. All right. Didn't Mr. Depp seek help and treatment
Is that all?
and get off of the drugs and the alcohol? So if the drugs and the alcohol are
Sorry,
the
Your Honor, we have no
catalyst
objection
for
with
all of the things,
To the unredacted version.
Okay, so
then
that I'm
Okay.
seeing right now, correct? Just make sure. Yes. Okay, all right, 325.
how come all of the things, how
Excuse me,
come
sorry, I just want to
the
make clear, we
violence
haven't seen the other
continued
pages, but this page
after
we have no
Oh, this
objection
is
to.
this the only page?
the drugs and the
I believe
alcohol
this is the only
stopped?
page to the document, Your Honor.
Makes
325
you
is the one.
wonder.
Just one page.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yep.
No redaction. Other than identifiers, but yes, you can do this one. Go ahead.
Also, I think that the suit that
And,
Amber
Michelle,
Heard
if you can
is
blow up the
wearing
large
is the
text at the
same
top of the
suit
page.
that Daryl Hannah wore in Splash when she went to Bloomingdale's. Hi, Dave G. Good morning. Good to see you. And I don't mean that he's
Mr.
taking
Depp,
accountability for the
on December
violence.
18th, 2014, you sent this.
You know what I mean? But this is what their
to
attempt is
Miss
to
Heard.
show that he is.
And I'm going to read it. And it says, "It's a way. I've let it go. Went too far. I tend to do that. I always regret it when I jump, or worse, when you jump. I don't want to be conditioned to continue that behavior. Therefore, I'll put in heavy work with Shrank. I'm sorry for being less, for your disappointment in me, for my behavior. I'm a fucking savage. Gotta lose that. Gonna lose that. The devil is all around, right? I wish I were able to bring even just a glimmer of a smile to the pretty face of my most gorgeous of dreams and darkest nightmares. I love you far too much for you and I to be these heinous, slinging insults like we do/did. It is not anything that I am particularly proud of to have participated in, and I regret giving it life because, motherfucker, how when we fight, little girl, how do we end up on the very edge of the precipice? And why? Wish I knew. Goddamn. And know that you are right. I am well aware that I should have been bigger than the moment, and that it will never again manifest in negative experiences. It can be done. What a killer concept to visualize. Wish you were in this lunatic's proximity. Be careful out there. I adore you." Did I read that right?
You did.
You can take that down, Michelle. If you could please pull up
Okay,
exhibit
because
153.
Steve and Slim were their nicknames for each other. It's a reference to Bogart and Bacall. Coolest reviews. Also, to me, in that text that they're showing, Johnny Depp is again, which he did on direct testimony, taking accountability for participating in the verbal back and forth,
And,
not
Your Honor,
the
we have
physical
a redacted version of this, but we'll put up the fully unredacted.
back and
um,
forth. Let me take
now.
my brand down real quick
Of
so
course.
it's not obscuring the attorney's face.
Your Honor, this has phone numbers in it, so.
I know.
it's easy.
Yeah, I know.
You
We-
just-
Understood.
Just so you can see it first.
Oh, no. I just want to take it down.
Could I have the photo? You don't take pictures of what's on their screen. Okay, just making sure. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor. Mr. Depp, I'd like to turn your attention
If anything,
to
all of this
the
is
top
doing
three
is
text messages on this
substantiating
page.
what
These are
he's
text
already
messages
said
that
and
you
what he's
sent on
testified
January
to.
17th, 2013. See that?
I'm sorry, I'm just reading the page.
Right. And the way these text messages are produced, sometimes there's big date skips and they're kind of jumbled in. So they're not all on the same chain.
No,
So
no, of course,
what I'm asking you about is just the top three.
certainly.
And those are texts that you wrote on January 17th, 2013, correct?
Yes, sir.
Your Honor, permission to publish just those top three texts with identifiers and the others redacted, and move for admission of that redacted exhibit.
As long as it's not this version, that's fine. The
We'll
version,
we'll put up on the screen what I propose to admit as an
Let me
exhibit.
see what you're going to put up on the screen
Okay.
first.
I'm not. Frankly, I'm underwhelmed at this. Also, coolest reviews, if
we
you
have no
could do me a
objection to this version, Your
favor
Honor.
All right.
and Tell me what that Patti Smith reference was, please.
Michelle, can you blow up the text boxes, please? On January 17th, 2013, Mr. Depp, you texted the following: "For the idiot cow," 3 exclamation points. Next text: "Will do. I'll smack the ugly cunt around before I let her in. Don't worry." And apologies again to the court and the jury for this language. And then you close by saying, "Did that worthless hooker arrive?" Did I read that right?
You did, sir.
You can take that down, please.
Does it say her name? I mean,
We talked a little bit about the term monster yesterday, correct?
Yes, I've heard that word quite a lot. Yes.
Yeah, and you testified yesterday that you used that term to placate Amber.
no
right?
idea what's happening here.
And I
Why there's
believe that you
no
testified that it
video.
was the word that she clung to describe what was in her mind, not yours. I wrote down what you said. You remember giving that testimony?
The monster, more than anything, was Ms. Heard's way of referencing whether she perceived that I was on substances or taking substances. So the word monster it represented for her the consumption of alcohol or any other substance.
Oh, I know who the dead milkmen are,
whether
but I don't
it was
remember that
actually happening or not. Her perception.
reference.
And so monster became
And I think they're
her
from California.
click word,
Right.
if you will.
But actually, the term monster to describe yourself came from you.
Well, initially, Ms. Heard, I believe she started out with demons. She started out with, saying that I had demons. And then when monster was put into a conversation, which, again, I have a particular way of using words, vocabulary in my vernacular. So monster was something that if which she stuck with, tried and true. I mean, she just stayed with that.
Right, but
you'd have to
it
accept
came from you. The term
unless
came
you
from
wanted
you.
to argue.
The term came from you, didn't it?
It's very probable. It's possible. It's probable that I might have used that word. Certainly.
Right, and in 2012, in fact, Elton John was one of your friends who was trying to help you get sober, correct?
Yes, sir.
And you sent him a message in 2012 where you thanked him for his help, and you said, quote, "I would have been swallowed up by the monster were it not for you. That is a simple fact." Isn't
Yes.
that true?
Yes.
The monster, referring to drugs and alcohol, not
Again, the
himself.
monster referring to alcohol and substances.
Thank you.
Correct. And you
Johnny,
didn't send
see
that
how-
message to Miss Heard.
Y'all,
You sent
he needs
that
to call me.
Elton John. I would have been swallowed up by the monster were it not for you. Correct?
Elton
Can you pull up exhibit
was
408, please?
a dear friend who has been sober for 40 years, 30 years. So he was. We'd had discussions, and he wanted me to get clean, sober. So Elton actually sent a fellow called Charlie Dunnett, who worked with Elton for years and years. And has
Mr.
helped
Depp, I
Elton.
appreciate that. My only question was just to confirm that you had sent that message to Elton John, nothing else. Thank you.
So I'll just stop talking.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I want to be
Certainly,
respectful of the
not a
court's
problem,
time and
Mr.
the
Roddenborn.
jury's time.
Sorry?
I just said I want to be respectful of the court's time and the jury's time, and I trust that you do too. So,
Well, I don't feel like I'm wasting anyone's time, sir.
could you pull up exhibit 408?
No,
please?
Johnny, don't get into it with him. What did he?
Mr. Depp, I'd like to turn your attention to the bottom text on this.
What did
page.
Amber Heard's team
Um,
do? Request
and
every text ever
Can
from
you
alt and
confirm that
time
this
and
is a
do
text
Control
message that
F
you
for the word
sent
monster?
on April 9th, 2015, while you were married to Amber, to your sister? Do you see that?
The last,
The last text on
on
the
the
one on the
bottom,
bottom.
yes. Yes, I see that, yes.
He does, Chick
Your Honor,
Tracy.
I'd move for admission of 408.
I'll
with
put
all
it in
the
here for you
identifiers
guys. Give me just a
redacted
sec.
And everything except the last text redacted.
Just the last
Yes, Your Honor.
one text.
We object, Your Honor. If we could approach just very quickly.
I object too. I don't even know what this text is, but I already object. I'm over it. I just don't understand the relevance of this. I don't understand what the. Give me just a second. I'll drop the coolest reviews link. Oh, you're most welcome, Chick Tracy. I support my friends. You know what? Coolest reviews, like while we just have this minute because they're arguing and whatnot. Now that you brought up the dead milkman, now bitchin' Camaro is in my head. It's going, I ran over my neighbor. Bitchin' Camaro, bitchin' Camaro.
And Mr. Depp, to clarify, is sis in those texts, is that your sister? Or it could be Amber's sister too, right?
I don't know what her
Oh,
relationship
Sister,
status
was
is
referring to
currently.
Whitney.
Hope for
Okay,
peace.
so Amber's sister. Okay.
Yes, Amber's
Okay.
sister.
Actually, me too. When I first got my Camaro, I used to. That was the first song I ever played in it. Was bitchin' Camaro. My folks bought me a bitchin' Camaro with no insurance to match. So if I have to drive you down, please don't leave a scratch.
Your Honor, with those redactions, I'd ask for permission or move to admit Exhibit 408.
No objection?
Yes.
Okay. All right, 408 with redactions as it.
And Mr. Depp, on April 9th, 2015,
Yes,
while
Thank
were
you,
married
Chick
to
Tracy. I'm a
sister,
whole mess, y'all.
you texted someone named Sis, which may be her sister. You testified.
yes.
You said, "I'm all right. I ... though I never, ever want to lay eyes on that filthy whore, Amber A. Most embarrassing." Did I read that right?
Yes, you did.
And when you called Amber that filthy whore, she was your wife at the time, correct?
Yes, sir.
Let's pull up Exhibit 427, unredacted, please.
Are they going to show texts where he spoke highly of Amber as well, or what's going to happen here? Because, look,
Mr. Depp,
I
would
wouldn't
like
want to be
to,
called that, right? And if hi, Sugar Beat, and if
I'd
my
like to direct your attention.
yeah, I did. Hope for peace. If I saw a text like that my husband had written about me,
Okay,
would
is
I
there
would I feel
another-
some type of way? Sure. I wouldn't enjoy it,
I'd like to direct your attention to the fourth text up from the bottom.
but I also wouldn't make,
Ooh.
you
Chat
know,
number 1616.
I don't know.
You see that?
I also have never clocked my husband in the
Yes, I do.
face, allegedly, in my
And that's a
opinion.
text message exchange between you and Jerry Judge.
For entertainment
on
purposes
April
only.
26th, 2015, just a couple of weeks after you referred to Amber as a filthy whore. Do you see that?
Yes, I do, sir.
Okay. Your Honor, permission and move for admission of this exhibit with the two text exchanges in that chat between him and Jerry Judge.
Oh, I'm gonna have to check it out,
What would
Lupe.
look like redacted,
Okay.
can we do that?
Okay, sure.
Also
Those
that,
two,
Paula,
Michelle?
I have also never done that. I've also never chunked a vodka bottle at my husband,
He's having trouble with the sound. The sound.
and which resulted in the slicing of his finger. Can y'all hear my dog in the background dreaming?
All right. Any objection to 427
No objection,
with
Your Honor.
redactions? Okay, 427 with redactions.
Thank you, Your Honor. If you can just blow the text up, Michelle, of both of those. Mr. Depp,
Thank you,
on
Coolest
April
Reviews. I'm gonna go
26th,
listen to it at
2015,
break.
Jerry Judge is your former security guy who passed away a couple years ago, right?
That's correct.
I don't think so,
Um,
Allie. I don't think
He
his
writes you
father
and
is
says,
alive,
"Hi,
babe.
boss. Just wanted to say,
Let
if
me
you
check.
and Amber need anything, just let me know. I will be there in 20 minutes. Johnny, it is lovely to see how you and Amber are so happy. The other day, watching the two of you sitting on the bench by the sea was fantastic. The two of you need happiness, and it is really great to see that. Love to you and Amber. XOXO, Jerry." Did I read that right?
You did.
And beneath that, you texted him back and you said, "Thank you, my dear Jerry.
Oh,
Very, very kind, mate.
let's see.
We've been perfect. All I had to do was send the monster away and lock him up. We've been happier than ever." All caps. "Love you, brother. JD." Did I read that right?
You did, sir.
Maybe I'm wrong.
Michelle, could you please pull up?
Yeah, he's
exhibit
still, you're right. He's
445?
84 and still
Appendix.
alive. I guess I thought when he was
And
talking
in the text that
yesterday,
we just saw, when you were
I
used the
guess
word
I
monster,
misunderstood
that
what he was
Miss Heard wasn't
saying
on that text
when he
message,
said
was she?
gone. I
No, that
guess
was
I
between
thought,
Jerry and myself.
I don't know.
Thank
I
you.
thought gone meant like not, like unalive, no longer living. But I guess he was referring to when his dad left his mom. My bad.
Mr. Depp, I'd like to direct your attention in this message to the second text down
Hey,
which
Team
is a
Psych
text
Ward.
from
Good to
you
see you, babe.
to Dr. Kipper, Dr. David Kipper, on June 28th, 2015.
Okay.
Is that right?
Yes, 26, 28, 215, yes.
Your Honor, I'd move for the admission of a redacted exhibit with that, simply that text. We're happy to redact the rest of it.
Is that text 139 or 137?
137, Your Honor, I'm sorry.
137.
No objection with
All
the
right, if
proper
we could
redactions.
Get those redactions before we publish, or did you want to publish?
We'll make the redactions right now and then
Okay.
publish that.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right, 445 as redacted.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, in evidence.
Thank you.
I don't need to be hearing me sigh. I thought I was.
And you sent this text on June 28th, 2015, and it said, you can blow up the text, Michelle, please. "Thank you, my darling Kipper. All those technical abbreviations left me flummoxed and in the dark. Soon, soon, I must see you and just hang out. My deformed finger and I have no friends. By the way, Amber and I have been absolutely perfect for 3 fucking months solid. I've locked my monster child away in a cage deep within, and it has fucking worked. We're goddamn best friends now. Amazing. Big love to you, my brother. JD." Did I read that right?
Yes, you did.
And Amber wasn't on that text when you told Dr. Kipper that you had locked your monster child away in a cage deep within, was she?
No, no.
Can we pull up Exhibit 435, please, unredacted? It's just the bottom text that I'm going to direct your attention to, Mr. Depp. This is a text that you sent to Stephen Deuters on May 14th, 2015, right?
The last one,
Yep.
May 14th.
And Stephen Deuters is your personal assistant, or was your personal assistant at the time you were with Miss Heard, right?
Yes, he's now my partner.
Now he's the president of the European branch of Infinitum Nihil, right?
IN2, yes, sir.
Move for admission of a redacted version of this document with just the bottom text, Your Honor.
No objection.
All right, if you could just redact it just to the bottom text.
Thank you, Judge.
All right, 435 in evidence as redacted.
And on May 14th, 2015, you blow up that text, Michelle, please. You texted Mr. Deuters, need to discuss the news helicopters hovering outside the house this morning. I'm ready to shoot a motherfucker, but don't worry, the monster is not involved. Correct?
I see that, yes.
And Miss Heard wasn't on that text, was she?
No.
Let's pull up Exhibit 196, please. This on page 2, please. Are we on page 2?
So now they're attempting to prove what exactly? That Johnny Depp referred to himself
So
as a
it's-
monster
Mr.
sometimes?
Depp, I'd like to direct your attention to
I don't get it.
line 24. You can see in that left-hand column there.
Oh, she put
And
her
this is a
glasses
text
on, y'all.
message
She's
From
serious.
you to Stephen Deuters, your personal assistant at the time, on October 31st, 2013, correct?
Yes, sir.
Permission to publish or move for admission, Your Honor, of just this page of the exhibit with just that text.
Hey, Renee, good to see you, babe.
With the phone numbers redacted, we have no
Okay.
objection.
course.
If you could do those redactions. So just
Yeah, don't be putting the phone numbers out because I know some crazy folk on these YouTube streets
Your
who'll
Honor.
call
Are
it.
you ever going to enter any other pages of this exhibit into evidence?
I'd like to reserve the right to,
Then we'll call
To
this
do that.
196A.
Okay, thank you.
Just makes it easier for the record.
all right, thank you.
Okay.
Hey, Nonstop Mom. Good to see you, babe. Yeah, the chat's going to distract you because obviously. I mean, have you met
Public
us?
All right, 196A in evidence as redacted.
And in this text message from you to Mr. Deuters on October 31st,
Hey, Michelle Ann. Good morning. Good
2013.
to see ya.
you write, thanks. She thinks that my Peruvian period has made me a monster and that I am ruining the relationship. You see that?
Yes, I do, sir.
The Peruvian period is a reference to cocaine, is it not?
Yes, it is.
I'm sorry, you said yes, it is?
Yes, it is, yeah.
Let's go to Exhibit 293, please.
I mean, the cocaine that he's admitted repeatedly that he used. I mean, I don't understand this point.
Mr. Depp, I'd like to direct your attention to the bottom text, which is a text from you to an unknown number on October 4th, 2014.
Oh, thank you, Dave. I
See that?
appreciate that.
The last one.
Yes.
Yes, I see that.
Yes, sir. Your Honor, I'd move for the admission of modified Exhibit 293 with just that redacted version. And we may use other parts of it, so I'd ask it to be 293A or 1.
Okay, we can make it A. Let's
Okay.
keep consistent.
All
After
right.
293.
I forgot what you had said.
No objection,
All
Your
right,
Honor.
293A, we'll get the redactions done. All right,
This
293,
is so annoying.
maybe. There we go. All right. Back to 293A in evidence with redactions.
Thank you, Your Honor. And in this text message on October 4th, 2014, you text someone, it's unclear who, you say, I am going to quite gracefully glide into a massage of my broken back and neck. I shall exit in 1 hour, a monster. Shall we each swallow an E each, parentheses, or perhaps it's MDMA, at around 8 p.m. and go to dinner with a few of my wee team at a wonderful Peruvian spot. Let us enjoy this night, my brother. Let us reward ourselves for the hard work and misery of the heat that we push ourselves to conquer every goddamn day. The Shatter. Did I read that right?
You did.
And E here, that's a reference to ecstasy, correct?
It is.
Bruh,
Take
why
that one,
don't
Michelle.
I get texts like this? Not about, I mean, just not, let me,
You
let me
agree
make
that
it
you
clear.
found drugs and alcohol at an early stage.
He
in your life,
writes texts
right?
like he lives in Twin Peaks,
Absolutely.
and those
Yes,
are
I
the
do.
kind of
And
texts
you
that I want to
testified,
get.
a couple days ago that you had done just about every kind of drug there was by age 13 or 14, right?
15.
15. And you found that drugs are the only way to numb your pain, right?
They've always been a medicine for me, yes, a numbing agent.
And you said yesterday that, in fact, I think you said you take drugs to numb the demons, right?
No, he said feelings.
I don't know that I said to numb the demons, but I have, well, if I did say demons, it is to numb the residual pain that I carry from my youth.
Right. And one of your good friends that you've taken drugs with before is Marilyn Manson, right?
Yes, we've taken, we've drank together. We've had cocaine together maybe a couple of times.
Pills, right? With Marilyn Manson?
I once gave Marilyn Manson a pill so that he would stop talking so much. Sorry.
All right. I get it. You employ.
Oh, do you get it?
employ a lot of people that work for you, right?
I employ a lot of people.
You employ a lot of people that serve various roles in your life, right?
Yes, yes.
And at least some of those people will do anything you ask, including some of them supplying controlled drugs to you, correct?
I would not characterize those people as doing anything I want or anything I said. They're not the yes men that you'd like them to be.
Boom. Tell it, Johnny Depp. He's perfectly capable of scoring his own. Thank you very much, which he doesn't do like that anymore. Hi, Mia. Good to see ya.
Can you pick up your testimony?
Hey,
from the
Nacho
UK
Mama.
trial
Good to see ya.
and turn to page 48, which is page 13 of the document, please.
Yes.
The reference to Marilyn Manson, Allie, is that what you're talking about? Like, why don't they call him by his name? His name is Brian Warner. I'm pretty sure at the time they were doing whatever it was they were doing together, he wasn't
Yes.
referring to him by his stage
Yes,
name.
I
I'm
got it.
pretty sure
You
he
got it?
called him by his
Okay.
government name. I don't know.
And if you could please take
But
a
they're
look
using
at
Marilyn Manson as like to try to elicit some
page 48,
emotional response.
15.
It's ridiculous.
Page 48, line 15.
You just testified that they're not yes men, right? That was the testimony you just gave, correct?
Yes.
Okay. On page 48, line 15
Here we go.
of your testimony in the UK, you were asked a question. They are people who will do what you ask. They will do anything you ask, including some of them supplying drugs to you, controlled drugs to you. Your answer was, there are people who work for me, work with me, who, yes, in the past, have been asked to provide whatever I have felt was necessary at the time. Question, well, putting it bluntly, if you wanted illegal drugs, controlled drugs, and you asked one of your staff, and I am not going to name anybody particularly right now, that member of staff would provide you with those drugs if he could. Answer, at times, yes. Question, despite the fact that it was illegal? Answer, yes. Did I read that right?
He did.
Can we pull up Exhibit 1085, please?
He said at times. He didn't say every time, all the time, at any time. He said at times. It's not as scandalous as you're trying to make it. I just,
You've seen this picture before, Mr. Depp, right?
I need to be
Yes,
quiet
I
and just
have.
listen.
Yes. And this is a picture that was taken in Miss Heard's former house or apartment on Orange Avenue after you two began dating, correct?
Yes, sir, and it's quite a composition.
It,
Composition of the photograph is very interesting.
I think that's something we can agree on. Your Honor, move for admission of Exhibit 1085 and ask for permission to
No
publish.
objection, Your
All
Honor.
right, 1085, publish and notes.
I'm curious how the jury is feeling about all of this.
This picture, you recall, Mr. Depp, was taken in or around March of 2013 after you had fallen off the wagon, right?
I'm sorry, what date?
March of 2013, I believe,
March
right?
2013.
Does that ring a bell?
If March 23rd, I had fallen off the wagon from when I was doing Lone Ranger, when Mr. was with me when I was sober.
Okay.
But the whiskey that's on the table that was an average. Every day I would come home to her place and there would be a glass of whiskey waiting for me.
And you would sometimes drink whiskey in the mornings too, right? During this time period.
Is it,
I-
Paula?
I-
Well, happy belated birthday, babe.
No, I mean, isn't happy hour anytime?
Anytime
And
you're happy, it
that
is.
cocaine, those white lines, those are cocaine. That's cocaine, right?
Maybe it's
I
dust.
would assume. It
Yeah,
looks
and
like it.
that's your cocaine that you kept in
Good
that
morning,
box that says
Christine.
property of JD with the skull and crossbones, isn't it?
Well, the beautiful composition of the photograph would suggest that, certainly.
Yeah. You don't dispute that.
I don't see me in it.
No, but you don't dispute that you carried cocaine in that box that said property of JD. That was a special box that you carried cocaine in, wasn't it?
Was that your cocaine
The
box?
box was a gift from someone. I can't say that I carried cocaine in it, no.
You
But
can't say that you carried cocaine in that box?
No, but it looks like it would fit some cocaine. Cocaine is, in my experience, normally given in plastic bags. When you put it in a box like that, chances are very good you'll leave a trail of a long line of cocaine behind you
Okay.
walking down the street. So
Why don't you go ahead and pull up your UK testimony, please?
Oh,
Let's look
for
at page
Pete's
202.
sake.
202.
Ah,
Oh, boy. Oh, I see. Yeah, you're going by those things. Pardon me.
It's page 9 of the document.
16.
I mean, they're clearly playing a semantics game here, which
Um,
under other circumstances I enjoy, but this feels a little like you, but I really hope you
I'm having
limbered up
trouble
well for this
finding
reach.
20
Are you saying page 9
Oh,
because there's no 2
that, no, that's my fault. It's day 2, so I owe you another transcript. I'm sorry, my apologies.
Oh,
Yeah, so stop
We're
even
gonna do
looking
another
at that,
day now.
Johnny Depp. It doesn't have anything to do with
Your Honor,
anything.
permission to approach?
Okay, yes, sir. Thank you.
thank you.
I agree, sugar beet. It is a good sign that the jury laughed because I think they are seeing this portion of the cross examination
So
for what it's
this, and I
intended for what it
apologize for
is.
that, Mr. Depp. This is page 9 of the document, page 202 of the transcript. This was day 2 of your testimony in the UK.
Yes, I see it. Page 202.
Yep.
I just want my
And,
little
on
avatar to
that,
be next to
on page 202.
my friend Johnny Depp.
You were asked a question. We'll have to work out what that was at a later stage. Can you see in the front that there is a little box about 2 inches by 2 inches if we compare it to the size of the credit cards? Answer, yes. Property of JD with skull and crossbones on it. Yes, I do. That, I suggest, this is a question. That, I suggest, is your cocaine box. That is where you would keep your cocaine, a special box that you had. Answer, I do remember the box. Question, do you remember it now? Answer, yes. I did not remember the property of JD. Yes, that is a box. It was carrying cocaine in it. I would say I probably was then.
The background from
You see that?
for the
I read that right?
Ward case
Yes.
studies. Coolest reviews. Hang on, I think I have it over here.
And on the morning that this picture was taken, this was during the filming of a documentary about Keith Richards. You remember that?
I'm sorry, could you
This-
repeat that?
Yeah, sure. This picture was taken while you were filming a documentary about Keith Richards,
I don't
correct?
think I have it anymore.
I'm sorry, the date again on this?
Do you remember that? I
The
believe
date.
I believe it was March 2013. You would
That's-
know better than I do.
Not Joe Mama.
And you see there's a Keith Richards CD, looks like above that cosmetic case.
Oh yeah,
Perfect
most of the
place, yeah.
time I use
And you had
the
an
little
argument
monkey
that
with
morning in which you
the
accused Amber of
drinking the
cheating on you.
Capri
You
Sun.
remember that?
I believe Amber had an argument with me. that
And you were
morning.
using cocaine and drinking whiskey that morning. And as
I'd
a
like to
result of
know that too,
argument, you were late
Paula.
to the set of that documentary, correct?
In fact, I was not late to the documentary. Well, I was late, but I had called my crew because it was a day of filming performance between, it was Keith Richards, Tom Waits, and some other very talented musicians. The only thing that needed to be done in terms of performance was capture the performance. So I wasn't needed on the set, so I could come in anytime I wanted.
Okay, you just said that you were late though, correct?
Oh,
That's
I
what you
was
just
late, yes.
testified to. Okay.
Yes, yes.
All right.
And due to the argument, of course.
Sure.
Yes.
I'd like to shift
Just as I suspected, that's what he calls them in real life. Okay. You're a monster. Just like that. Yes, Christine, we get you. Everybody here, I think we all get each other, which is why I will say again for the 11 billionth time that we have the best chat on the YouTube streets because we found our tribe, we found our people. Oh, more cherry picking. Yay. I'm not gonna lie. If they accidentally showed Brian Warner's phone number, I would want to text it. I wouldn't do it, but I'm not going to lie and say I wouldn't want to. I'm not going to say I wouldn't think about it. I'm not going to say I wouldn't go back and forth. Should I do it? Should I not do it? Should I do it? Should I not do it? I know that I would. I know that I would land on not doing it because that's like inappropriate, but I'm not going to say I wouldn't want to or wish that I could. I just wouldn't. What does that prove? That he's not arguing that he did not take I don't understand the point of this. This has all been testified to. He's not arguing that he smoked weed. He's not arguing that he didn't take edibles. Yeah, it came back, Lupe. I don't think I have. I know I haven't, Sugar Beet. No, it's just the defense continuing to uh prove that Johnny Depp is around and has taken drugs. That I wouldn't say those are giant bags. Calm down. This ain't narcos. Come on. Anybody else having trouble hearing the sound? Let me make sure it's Is it working? Is the sound working for everybody else? Obviously, right in a second, it's muted, but is it? Because I show and I can hear it. Can you guys hear it? Yeah, they're just taking their morning break. Um, let me stop sharing and then reshare. I don't know why you guys can't hear it. I can hear it just fine. Hold on. All right. They're on their break. Well, they're not talking right now. So, but I'll let me add this to the stream and rewind it and see what went wrong. Give me just a second. Come on. I need to figure out how to get rid of this one thing at the bottom here that just comes up and it's annoying. Even if you hover over it accidentally with your mouse, it shows it. Just give me a sec. All right, let me rewind it a little bit for you guys. Because I heard all of that. I don't know why you guys didn't.
Or just those first two?
We
All
have no
right.
objection to the omission with proper redaction.
Can you guys hear it now?
Yeah,
Okay.
those first two.
And then move for the admission of that document as redacted.
Sure, as soon as we get it redacted.
I'm going to just make it a little fast so that whenever because they're not going to be gone for very long. I just want to make sure that we're caught up when we get there. Yeah, I don't know what happened.
Thanks, Michelle.
That's fine. No
Okay,
objection.
all right, 145 and evidence as redacted.
Thank you, Your Honor. So this text exchange, Mr. Depp, between you and Marilyn Manson on September 11th, 2012, you text him, "The pill and the plant stuff keep me calm and detached." And he texts you back, "I have lots of reefers, many reefers, and cookies, which are weird, but pot is funny, backwards gateway drug." See that?
I do, sir.
Did I read that right?
You did.
You can take that down, Michelle, please. And if you could please pull up Defendant's Exhibit 1089.
I wonder if
Mr.
it
Depp,
has
I'd
something
like
to do with when
ask you
I
about this
mute my
photo.
mic. I don't know.
This is a photo of 4 pretty huge bags of marijuana, correct?
Yes, that is a lot of marijuana.
A lot of marijuana.
Yes, sir.
And the coffee cup that's right next to that, that's a coffee cup for your company, Infinitum Nile, right?
That's correct.
And the furniture, this is taken in one of your residences?
It's taken in the studio, the recording studio.
In the recording studio, okay. Your Honor, move for the admission of Exhibit 1089, Defendant's Exhibit 1089, and
Nope.
permission to publish.
No objection,
All
Your
right,
Honor.
1089 evidence.
So this picture of these 4 giant bags of pot, at least 4, was taken in your recording studio. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. You can take that down, Michelle.
Are you at a good break point, Mr. Rottenborn? Just
Sure, the break would be fine.
okay, all right.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Let's go ahead and take our morning recess of 15 minutes. So we just don't talk to anybody, don't do any outside research, okay? Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. You can.
All right. So they've gone to break. I think, Amelia, the truth of the matter is it would not serve Johnny Depp's side to raise a ton of objections right now because, quite frankly, it's for the exact reasons that you stated in your question. It's there. This is a very poor attempt, in my opinion, at trying to impeach Johnny Depp's testimony. And the truth is, he's been very honest about this particular subject. And so, in my opinion, although for us watching, it's sort of tedious, but I do think that it would not be it's not advantageous, really, in my opinion, for his team to raise a ton of objections right now, because, like we've said, it's been asked, it's been answered. He's been open about it. He's been honest about it. I mean, in my opinion, at this point, um, I don't understand. The defense is just, what are they trying to prove here? Because he's already talked about this, and it is very monotonous. And in my opinion, they're not showing anything. I know what they're attempting to do, but they're not succeeding at their attempt. In my opinion, it seems to me that they're, for lack of a better word, just going over this and over this, and in an attempt to prove him a liar. But it's not working. He's said these things. He's admitted these things on direct. I don't quite get it. I really don't. I don't understand the point of this at all. I don't know if this is just like foundation they're laying, and it's gonna pick up at some point, because it just doesn't make any sense to me. I mean, if I were Johnny Depp, I'm not an attorney, so obviously this is just my, I don't have a license to practice. I'm not offering advice, but I think basically, why would they bother to object? I wouldn't. Um, I agree, but I think that his snippiness and his shade is coming not so much at basically, he's throwing shade about yesterday's testimony, his direct testimony, that he sort of talked a lot and didn't, get over answered questions, right? They weren't like concise answers. But that's, I think, more the dig, which is, I agree, it's ridiculous to make that dig when you're doing this, because I don't get it at all. And usually I can understand the point. Even if I disagree, I understand the point. But in this situation, I don't actually understand the point. It is a waste of time, frankly. It's not like Johnny Depp got up there yesterday and testified, "Nah, bro, I never had a drug problem." You know, I don't understand it. Oh, wait, this is the one I wanted to highlight. I kind of disagree there, because in order for them to do this, like, first of all, they had to subpoena records, right? Which is not free. Okay. That costs money. And to me, what it appears they did was they subpoenaed all these texts, right? And then literally they went and they hit Control F, and they typed in the word monster, or they typed in the word drugs, and they're pulling up every single text message that references drugs and monsters, frankly, is what it appears to me. And that does cost money. And the truth is that Amber Heard's lawyers are expensive lawyers. But their game plan is something I don't understand. They think this is a great game plan. Okay. But what is your game plan? Is your game plan to show text messages of Johnny Depp admitting drug use that he's admitted already during his testimony? See what I mean? Like, I don't think that's their intention, is that Amber Heard is more I think that's like redundant. It's clear, it's obvious that Amber Heard, just based on uh the films that she's been in, and the fact that the jury has already established that they are not familiar with her work and whatnot. I feel like I just don't, I don't know, I don't get the point of this. I really don't. And I think this is exactly the point right here, Chick Tracy. I think what it boils down to is they don't have much to work with in this area. They are going to attempt to impeach his trial testimony, right? Prove him a liar. Because if you can prove somebody lied about one thing, the thinking is that they're a liar, and therefore you have to question everything they say. All you got to do is prove one lie, right? And I think that's what they're trying to do here, and they just don't have much to work with because he's been open and honest. And I don't know why. Maybe it was too late to change tact. Maybe they expected him to lie on the stand or be less than 100% honest. Not less than 100% honest. Maybe they thought that he would try to downplay his drug use or alcohol consumption, perhaps. I don't know. Other than, I think some of the text messages, they're trying to prove that Johnny Depp is taking accountability for things. And I'm using the word things because it's not actually, some of the texts are more clear about what he's taking accountability for. And to me, the texts read as though sugar beet. No. You never have to be quiet on that point. I guess I just, no, I like to hear everybody's points. Don't you dare hush your mouth. You keep talking about it, however you want, because that's just my opinion right now. Like, I could change it, and or you explain more, and I might be like, I mean, I understand what you're saying, and I do agree that she certainly can't afford the team of lawyers that Johnny Depp can. I mean, he would be let's see. I put this let me make an analogy. Okay. If Johnny Depp's attorneys were a store, they would be Target, and Amber Heard's team would be Walmart. You know what I mean? So yeah, I see what you mean. I can agree with that point. I just don't think that, I'm not sure that the defense is trying to show that. I don't know. I don't know. And I don't know what they're, the text that they're showing, right, with respect to the arguments and stuff, or the fights that they had, right? It seems to me from those texts that Johnny Depp is taking accountability for engaging in the argument, not engaging in the physicality of it. So I don't know. Let me check on this. Excuse me, they're not back yet. I don't know when they said they were coming back. I missed the time. But yeah. I'm very curious though as to what she would be testifying to, honestly. And I'm very I want to hear her testimony, obviously, of course. There you go. Christine. That's a much better analogy. There you go. So yeah. I I just I'm at a loss here. Oh, I dig. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I am definitely interested in hearing her testimony. And obviously. And I have the door open in my mind that I'm willing to hear. How I'll put it. I'm willing to hear her out because that's what you're supposed to do. I'm willing to hear her out, but if but I'm it is what it is. I really don't see it. To me, this is the other issue I'm having with the drug conversation. Hey, Smalls. Um, this is my other issue with the whole drug thing. I'm just gonna go to the adage, those who live in glass houses shouldn't throw stones. And the truth of the matter is that Amber Heard herself, if nothing else, at this point so far, right? It's been proven that Amber participated in and handed out the MDMA at the wedding, right? That was her party favor. So how come only Johnny Depp was required to seek help in the relationship? Like, why didn't they say together? Even if, let's say, even if she didn't think she had a problem, right? Or that her drug use didn't play a role in the arguing and the negativity in their relationship, the volatility, I should say, in their relationship, right? Why not quit together and just give it a chance? Like, kind of like the alcohol. Let's both be sober and see where we stand. Because the truth of the matter is, maybe we won't like each other sober, and that happens. And there's nothing wrong with that. It's not even a judgment. It's just, why not? Maybe if you gave if both of them had given sobriety a chance, maybe then there would have been room to give peace a chance between them. Do you know what I mean? Like, and also I would like to hear more about Detox Weekend at the hotel when they came back to LA. Well, okay, we know what Johnny Depp was doing, right? Because he's testified to that and they've, shown that and whatnot. What was Amber Heard doing? That's what I want to know. They're still not how did this get behind? All right, he's back.
Seated? Your next question.
I'm scared to mute my mic because now I'm scared that's what made the sound go away, so I'm not touching it. That's what I think, Paula. Hey, Mrs. O, good to see you.
Mr. Depp, contrary to what maybe the jury's heard earlier in this trial, you became aware many times over the course of your life about your sister Christy's concerns about your drug consumption, correct?
Over many times in my life.
Yes.
Hey, Betty's Beauty, good to see you.
I think you'd have to ask her that. I'm not aware that she was concerned for the period of my life. No.
Well, in fact, your sister's had a number of worries about your drug consumption over many, many years since your youth that you've become aware of, correct?
In my youth, I don't
Since
know-
your youth, sorry.
Hmm?
Since your youth.
Since my youth, my sister has not been necessarily privy to uh, every single, let's say, move that I've made, whether it be where you'd like me to go with the drug dependency or whatever. She's been a concerned sister in every way, that even having to do with relationships that I was in that she was quite worried about.
Oh,
Right, right. And I wasn't asking about relationships.
that's
What I was
okay. It's what he
No, no, no,
answered
it's
you.
just-
let's do it this way, given your
Alright.
testimony. Let's turn to day 2.
We
of the
still
UK
are
trial,
Betty's
the
beauty.
transcript that's in front of you, please.
I think we're going to be shook about that. I think the internet was shook about it when it happened, when it came out.
Where would you like me to?
And
Page
then the
279,
testimony yesterday
it's on
was
page
shook. I
28 of the
can't.
document, please. It's upper right.
Thank you.
I'll be shook probably until the end of time. I'll be 87 years old and I'll think back on my life and
Page
reflect and be
279
like,
it was.
remember that
Ye-
time
Yes, sir.
that
Thank
you
you.
were watching the Johnny Depp
And on
Amber
line
Heard
11,
trial?
are you there?
Yeah.
Do you have the document up?
Online?
No, I'm sorry. Is it in your hand? Okay, great.
Yes.
On page, line 11 of page 279, you were asked a question. Question, did your sister express anxiety to you about your drug intake at around this time? Your answer, my sister Christy has over many, many years, since my youth, had a number of worries about my consumption growing up. Yes, she talked to me many times over the course of my life. And yes, with Miss Heard, we did speak about it. I think she and Miss Heard's ability to speak to one another stopped not long after this.
She's not said
read that right?
anything, not
You
yo
did.
mama, because it's not her
When you
turn.
first started seeing Amber, you had you filmed the Rum Diary, but then you went a couple years without being involved, and then you saw each other on the press tour for the movie, right?
That's correct.
And when you first started seeing her after that couple year
You're welcome, babe.
period of not seeing her, you had just been checked out of a New York hospital where you had been for a couple days to fight alcohol use, correct?
Yes.
And you were drinking, you were abusing alcohol toward the end of your relationship with your prior partner, Vanessa Paradis, correct?
I was drinking.
You were drinking pretty heavily.
Were you there?
Oh,
My question to you, sir.
No, I wasn't drinking that
Let's-
heavily.
We
I
can,
mean,
let's turn to the UK.
it's
Here we
definition
go.
of what you define as heavily, so.
Let's just look at what you said before. Let's go to page
Certainly.
116 of the UK transcript, please. This would be in day 1.
116.
I know, not your mama. That feels like an answer you and I would give. Were you there? You don't know my life? Well, I don't understand the
Yes, sir.
point of this because it seems
116
that
it
he's
was, yeah.
gotten, attempted
Yeah,
many times to
116,
get help. So what's your
um,
point, bruh?
down onto 117. Okay.
He'd be looking good every day, Betty's beauty.
On 116, line 18, the question is, I think one of the problems in that relationship was your alcohol and drug addiction, misuse, if you prefer that word. Answer, I would definitely say towards the end of my relationship with Miss Paradis, the mother of my children, it was a very painful time to break up with someone that you have been with for 14 years and that you have 2 children with. So it was a very painful time, and I was more than likely trying to numb myself as much as possible. Question, am I right in saying that you agree that you were abusing alcohol and drugs, but you have explained why? Answer, I would say that I was abusing alcohol. I do not know that I was abusing drugs, but I was abusing alcohol for sure. Yes. Did I read that right?
You did.
And there was a time in the early stages of your relationship with Amber when you explained to her that you
Oh,
weren't drinking
she was worth
alcohol at
10
that
million
time
yesterday.
because you had a problem with your liver, correct?
Y- 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 Yes, there was, yeah, there was concern over the numbers, as they call it, over about my liver.
And you shared that with Amber, right?
Yes, I did.
And Amber, early on in your relationship, throughout your relationship, she didn't love the fact that you were drinking and using drugs, correct? You've testified to that many times, right?
Objection calls for speculation as to what is in Ms. Hurd's mind.
I'll sustain this to that form
Sure.
if you want to rephrase.
You understood that Miss Heard was not happy with you overusing alcohol or overusing drugs, correct?
From the very beginning,
Yeah, she was trying to be supportive of your sobriety, correct?
no, sir.
No. Okay. Let's look at Exhibit 182, please.
Are we in day 2 now? Or is this?
No, sorry. This is an exhibit.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, you can set that to the side, sir. Thank you. This is an email from exchange from you, between you and Elton John in 2013, July 2013. Correct?
Correct.
And the second email down is an email that you sent to Elton John 5:05 in the afternoon on July 13th, 2013. You see that?
Yes, I do.
Your Honor, move for the admission of Exhibit 182 and permission to publish.
Yes, let's see this email.
Yes, Your Honor, there's some email addresses in here, and I would ask that the portions that are not Mr. Depp's also be redacted as well.
All right.
That's fine.
Okay. So no objection with those redactions. Is that correct? Okay. Let's just get those redactions.
Here's the thing. She may have wanted him to get sober for whatever reason, right? And I don't know what her reasons are, okay? But let's just go with it here, right? She wanted him to get sober, but yet she continued, from alcohol specifically, she continued to drink in his presence and even had him pouring her drinks. So I just don't know that is, you know,
One page.
as supportive as you could be. If you, I'm not suggesting that she stopped drinking
I believe that
completely,
covers the
right?
redactions, Your Honor.
But maybe don't
Sure.
drink
Have a moment to
around
read
him.
Of course.
That would be a start. I would consider that to be supportive, because the truth of the matter is, if you are seeking help to get sober from alcohol specifically, the truth is you're going to be around people who do drink. But in the early days when you're initially starting out, having your spouse drinking in front of you and
No
around
objection
you
with
and
taking out the
having
redactions.
All
uh,
right, 182 in
you pour her
evidence
drinks
with redactions.
ain't cool.
Thank you, Your Honor.
And you wouldn't be my friend if that's how
So
you
this
was.
This is an email that you sent to Elton John, July 13th, 2013. And Michelle, could you scroll down to the third paragraph up from the bottom that starts with the words "on the other side of the coin"?
Betty's Beauty, show enough.
And in that paragraph, you write, "On the other side of the coin, my kids have fallen head over heels in deep love with Amber, my girl. And that pressure off my shoulders is fucking gone. That is, until the French extortionist, parentheses, ex-cunt, attempts to brainwash them against her, which I'm sure is imminent." I read that right, didn't I?
You did read that very well.
And the when you referred to the French extortionist and called her an ex-cunt, you were referring to Vanessa Paradis, the mother of your children, correct?
yes, sir, things got a little
You can take
tight
that down.
at that point between us, as they would.
Nobody has.
Can you pull up Exhibit
I.
214?
What
please?
is the point?
Defendant's Exhibit 214.
So what are you doing now? You showing this so what? That if Vanessa Parody is watching, she comes what to
Mr.
Amber
Depp,
Heard's
portions of this-
side?
We've already seen portions of this.
Poor
of this exhibit.
Vanessa.
What I'm going to ask you about are the top 3 messages. These are messages to and from your daughter, Lily Rose, I believe.
Oh,
on
don't
February
do
4th,
this.
2014, correct?
We object, Your Honor. These are communications. We object to the admission of any communications from his daughter.
What's the legal objection?
Hearsay.
All right.
First of all, I was just asking if that was what it was, but may we approach?
Okay.
Poor Michelle. She's been asked to scroll more than anybody that I've ever heard. Bless it. Coolest reviews. I think this is redonk. Let me just make sure we're getting. Oh, let's fix this. Y'all have the sound still good?
Mr. Depp, you understood that the last few years before Amber, that your relationship with your kids was such that there was a perception by them that you weren't around for them, and that all changed when Amber came into your life, correct?
Objection calls for speculation.
Just asking what he's aware of.
I'll allow it.
May I have the question one more time?
Yeah,
please?
because
You're-
I don't
you're
know
aware
that commercial. Yeah, I don't get that.
Sure. You're aware that the last few years before you started dating Amber, that there was a perception by your kids that you weren't around, and that all changed when Amber came into your life.
This is not exactly the truth, what you're trying to put forth.
No, I'm just asking if you were aware of my question, that there was a perception that you weren't around for the last couple of years before Amber, and that changed when Amber came into your life. That's all I'm asking.
Asked and answered, Your Honor.
There were extenuating
I'm not
circumstances.
sure if he's answered it, but
Right.
for that objection, I'll overrule that objection.
Thank you. You're also aware that there was a perception, you were made aware, that Lily Rose believed that Amber was a good influence on you and changed you for the better, correct?
Objection, hearsay, Your Honor.
I'm just asking for what his understanding is.
I'll sustain the objection. Let's move on.
Very brief
You don't have
period.
to,
You
you
don't
don't
have-
have to answer that question. I sustain the
I'm
objection.
sorry.
That's fine. Next question.
Mm-mm. You know,
You're aware of the lengths that Miss Heard went to care for you when you were impaired on drugs or alcohol, correct?
You'd have to be specific, more
Okay.
specific, please.
Let's be specific.
yes,
Sorry.
let's.
Can you please pull up Exhibit 839? Your Honor, this is a recording. And we plan to play
Hey, pickle lover.
6 minutes and 55 seconds through 7 minutes and 9 seconds.
I want
Is
you
the
guys
recording
to
we already
know-
have in- No, this
I
is.
don't-
Let me put up my banner. I don't know what
I-
this is going to be.
I don't believe so, but I'm not 100% sure if this has been
8:39.
the defendant's 839.
Is there any objection to that audio recording?
None of their audio
I
has
don't
been.
Assuming this is an audio recording between Mr. Depp and Ms. Heard, then. we have no
Lovey-dovey.
objection.
All
It
right.
is.
So
Thank you, Your Honor.
Ratio
No objection to it
sales.
being entered in evidence, correct?
That's
And
correct.
it's full content, but we're just playing a portion of it, is that
That's
correct?
exactly
Okay.
right.
All right,
Yep.
839 in evidence then. Okay, thank you.
And permission to play the clip mentioned to the jury?
Okay, I assume there's no objection since it's in. That's fine, go ahead.
By pounding on the door and waking up every 15 minutes and then falling asleep next to the door so I could hear you snore in case if you vomited, I could call EMS if you ever stopped snoring.
Because you were
Because if
afraid
I
I was
could-
gonna die.
I thought you would choke on your own vomit, which is very likely with you. Yes, very
But I
likely.
vomit a lot.
Yes.
Sure.
Yes, you do vomit a lot. In your sleep, even more.
Really?
Oh, it's news to you? Then this is affecting you a lot more than I thought it was.
I'll be used.
Her whole bloodline should be ashamed of her.
Can you please pull up Defendant's Exhibit 1094?
Again, Amber is asserting that he does all the
Your
vomiting,
Honor, may we approach briefly?
and yet Johnny Depp is not acknowledging all of the vomiting. Are they not hearing the same audio that we're hearing? Am I not hearing the same audio y'all are hearing? Am I wrong here? So just because Amber makes these allegations and accusations that this is what Johnny Depp does, that they're facts?
Mr. Depp, do you recognize this picture as being a picture of you?
Oh,
Yes,
here we
Miss
go. I
Burton
know this
kindly showed it
picture.
to me the day after she took it, yes.
Okay. This picture, I'd move for the admission of Defendant's Exhibit 1094 and ask for permission to publish, Your Honor.
Tony, thank you, Allie. I'm so befuddled. Oh yeah,
This is a picture of you on a black leather couch, passed out, correct?
Passed out's an interesting way of putting it. Maybe asleep.
Where is it? What residence?
That's in Boston.
I'm sorry?
That was in Boston when I was doing Black Mass.
In Boston. And that's ice cream on your lap, correct?
It is indeed. Ms. Hurd asked me to hold the ice cream as she noticed that I was on the nod. That means falling asleep from the 17-hour day that I'd worked and also the opiates that I'd ingested. And if you'll notice, my right hand is in my pocket. So I wasn't participating in the Festival of Ice Cream.
Okay.
I was holding her ice cream, and because she knew what was going to happen,
Okay.
that I would fall asleep and it would drop. And that was a wonderful picture to take for her.
Sure.
I don't know why she took it, but
Well, so it's Miss Hurd's fault that that picture was taken.
she's
That's
the
what
one
you're
that
saying.
took it.
she snapped it.
All right, let's talk about this because you say you were in Boston. This is when you were filming Black Mass,
Yes,
and you testified that that was kind of the last film that you did when you were taking opiates, right?
Yes, it was right before the the trip.
Well,
to the
that's
island.
terrible.
And you
Coolest
testified
reviews.
yesterday that you don't take opiates to get high, right? You've testified to that on a couple different occasions, correct?
You certainly can take opiates to get high. If I doubled the dose, then I would most assuredly be ready for sleep.
Right.
That's not a blackout. That's
Sure. So if you
Sleep.
double the dose, you'd be ready for sleep, but it wouldn't get you high in the way that other drugs would, correct?
well, the high is it's a extreme downer. It that's its job.
Right. And for that reason, I believe you testified yesterday or two days ago it's not like you take those pills to get high. You remember giving that testimony, correct?
I said that it's not like I took the pills
Mhm.
to get high. I took the pills to
Thank
be
you.
normal, to stay normal, so
Okay,
that I
let's pull
wouldn't
up
get sick.
866, please.
Oh, here we go.
What number did you say? I'm sorry.
866.
Defendant's Exhibit 866.
Your Honor.
But I also believe that I said that I asked nurse, or I told nurse Debbie that I had told her that I needed more than I actually took, because I always wanted to have one or two in my pocket just in case
Mhm.
the kick started.
Mhm. Um,
Okay, I'm going to mute my
If you could take
mic.
a look at
If the sound goes out, tell
the
me.
text at the top of that page.
Yes,
It's a text exchange between you and Aaron Borum. Aaron Borum, you testified as one of Dr. Kipper's nurses, right?
yes, sir.
And this is a text exchange that you had with her in August and September 2016, correct?
So I'm looking for the, oh, yes, yes. Which one are we looking at here?
The
Up at the
top
top.
three. And in the first, she tells you that she's watching Black Mass for the third
Yes.
time, right?
On, yes, so August 30th, yes.
Yeah. And Your Honor, I'd move for, I'd like to admit this exhibit 866 and permission to publish, please. And particularly, I'm talking about the top three texts.
The top. So redacting the other text, just the top three texts and the identifying.
Yes,
identifying
Your-
information.
Yes, Your Honor.
Your Honor, we have no objection, but we would ask that the fourth text message be included as well
Alright,
as
so the top
context.
four texts.
Sure.
messages.
And obviously the phone numbers redacted as well.
Of course.
Let's get that up. Let's see what that looks like. All right. That's
No
fine.
objection. Yeah.
Okay, 866 in evidence with redactions.
Thank you, Your Honor. Michelle, could you blow up that third text? Starts with "you are the sweetest," please. And in this text to Ms. Borum, after she's telling you that she's watching Black Mass for the third time in a row, you write, "I was high as a motherfucker when I made that film. Ha ha ha." You see that? Did I read
do
that
see
right?
Yes, you did read that right.
Now, you can take that down. You've trashed hotel rooms before simply because you've had a bad couple days and an unpleasant time, correct?
I have assaulted a couch or two. Yes, sir.
You'd agree that at times in your life you've expressed yourself through distress.
Yes,
And you'd agree that at times when you were angry, you smashed things up, right?
more in my confused sort of youth, yes.
And you said in an interview one time, you said the following quote, "You know, you have bad days and, you know, some guys go play golf. Some guys, you know, smash hotel rooms." You've said that before, right?
It was
It's just a yes or
done-
no question. You've said that before, right? In an
I've
interview.
said it as a joke,
And
yes.
you believe that if something feels stronger than you, that it's a human reflex to smash something or throw something against a wall or punch a door, correct?
I don't believe that I'm the only human being that's ever punched a door or broken something in an internal bout with myself. No,
You believe that
I'm
that's
unique in that way. Sir.
you believe that that's something that happens when you get frustrated, right? And that it's a mini explosion that comes and goes quickly. You agree with that, right?
When I was younger, it was a little bit more.
Let's pull up Exhibit 143, please. Can you scroll down? This is an email exchange between you and Stephen Deuters, your personal assistant, in April of 2019. You see that?
Yes.
And it's 2 pages, I believe. So let's go to the second page, please. Or the bottom of right there. And you see that on April 19th, 2012, you wrote him, "I got drunk and destroyed my room. There are hookers and animals in here." Did I read that right?
Yes, you did.
Your Honor, permission to, or I'd like to move for permission of Exhibit 143 and permission to publish, please.
As long as the email addresses are redacted, we have no.
But the full content comes in, is that correct?
Yes, Your
Okay,
Honor.
let's make sure I got it straight. Okay. Redact identifiers. All right. Is it you agreeable with
Let's
that?
can we just, let's make sure that that's the only, is that the only email address?
All right.
Okay.
Wait a minute, could you go down to the second page again for a second?
Go down to the second page, please.
To the signature line.
Can we just see the top again?
So let's go to the top.
The top of the first
The
page.
top of the first
please.
page. Thanks.
Okay.
In
Thank
fact,
you.
is
No
it,
objection? Okay.
do you mind
Okay.
if I read this, or are you going to
Right.
read this to me?
We're gonna take a look at it.
All right, 143 in evidence, you can,
Okay.
Thank you, Your Honor. Can you scroll down, Michelle? So you write to Mr. Deuters, "I got drunk and destroyed my room. There are hookers and animals in here." And then if you scroll up, he writes simply, "Watch out for Mike Tyson. Have you num-nummed?" Correct. And then you write, "Don't want nummies. Thank you. Is it okay to put on a condom after the fact? I mean, if I just wear it for the rest of the day, like that works, doesn't it? I've had to kill a few of the animals for sustenance. I've made quite a mess. There's blood and animal tracks everywhere." I read that right?
You did.
Okay. And you are currently in a lawsuit for assaulting a crew member on the set of one of your movies in July 2018, correct?
Yes, someone
Yeah.
brought a case against me.
Right. A man by the name of Greg Rocky Brooks is suing you for allegedly
Objection, Your
punching him
Honor.
twice in the
Relevance
rib.
and
All right,
403 and 404.
They mute the sidebars, Nacho Mama. None of us can hear again. Can you guys hear now? Did you hear him? Did you hear her turn the mic back on?
Mr. Depp, I'm not going to ask you any questions about the particulars of that lawsuit, but other than this, the two bodyguards who were with you on the set of the movie on the day that's the subject of that lawsuit were Sean Bett and Jerry Judge, correct?
That's correct.
Your Honor, can we please take the?
Okay, good. Glad you
Sure,
guys
yeah, we
can
can
all
take that
hear.
now.
Bill down.
Thank you.
Okay, good, good, good.
I'd like to shift gears and talk about Hicksville. You remember taking a trip to a place called the Hicksville Trailer Palace in late May 2013, correct?
I do indeed. I hope I forget.
And the people, it's like a little mini trailer resort out near Palm Springs, Joshua Tree area.
That's correct.
All right. And the people that were there with you on that trip were Amber, her sister Whitney, right? A woman by the name of Christy Sexton, right?
Oh, yes. Okay.
Rocky Pennington,
Yes.
right? Someone named Kelly Sue Milano, or Kelly Sue Eater.
You got me.
You just remember Kelly Sue, right?
I don't remember a Kelly Sue.
Okay. Well, in fact, Kelly Sue, you recall, was sitting close to Amber, and you thought she was being affectionate toward her. You'd agree with that, right?
Sitting close is not the description I would give it myself.
Well, you just testified you didn't remember someone named Kelly Sue, but I'm putting it to you.
Well, I
You remember someone named Kelly Sue who was sitting close to Amber and being affectionate, and you took exception to that, didn't you?
I wasn't aware that her name was Kelly Sue. Terribly sorry about that. I didn't know her name, but it was someone I'd never seen before who had clearly taken some happy something and was very affectionate with my girlfriend.
And so you removed Kelly Sue's hand from Amber, and you yelled at Kelly Sue and told her that Amber was your girl, right?
That's not correct.
That's not correct?
No, sir. Not in the way that you're saying it.
Oh, coolest reviews. I think that there is I don't know how you're sending them, but if I know that Google,
From Amber.
if you have them
That's
on a
the answer
Google
to your
Drive and that's how you're sharing them, in the
so.
settings, in the share settings, it will let you do that, I believe.
Well, Mr. Depp, it's not a matter of how I said it, it's a matter of how you've said it. So let's take a look at page 239.
Oh,
of
for
the
Pete's
UK
sake.
transcript, please.
Here we
This
go.
is day 2.
229?
239.
239.
Page 18.
Also, probably see what I'll highlight Christine's comment here because I would listen to her before I would listen to me, and I'm me. So,
Sorry. It's all right. A lot of papers.
Uh, 239, yes.
It's going to be 239 and 240.
Okay. Thank you.
And you see on page 239,
okay, Amelia.
line 22, you're being asked a question about the incident we've just been discussing. And you're asked a question. And how did you deal with that uncomfortable situation?
Where are you reading from, sir? I'm sorry.
Page 239, line 22.
22, okay.
You got it?
Yes, I do.
Question, and how did you deal with that uncomfortable situation? Answer, I removed Miss Kelly Sue's hand from Miss Heard's body, and I told her, do not do that. That, first of all, that is my girl. Second of all, it is rude and invasive. She was quite glassy-eyed, and she seemed pretty unsure of her surroundings. She seemed very unstable on her feet, and I remember saying to her, if you were going to take this drug, MDMA, you should know if you were able to handle it or not, correct? Did I
That's
read that right?
You read that
That's correct.
correctly. Nowhere in
And
there does it say
after this,
yelled.
Incident, you went back into the trailer that you and Miss Heard were sharing, and you had a big argument, right?
Yes, there was an argument.
And the argument started about Kelly Sue, correct?
I don't
Amber was
recall.
unhappy with your reaction to her and what happened, correct?
Objection calls for speculation.
I'll sustain the objection if you could rephrase.
You had an argument with Miss Heard, and you understood her to be upset with the way that you had handled that situation with Kelly Sue, correct?
I mean, I recall that that was a part of the argument, but as I had told Ms. Heard, I was sorry if this, I mean, I was protecting Ms. Heard's honor, and I was protecting my girl from someone who was clearly unable to deal with the substances that she'd taken.
Right.
She was a
And-
little forward.
And I know that there will be differing accounts of what happened in that trailer over the course of this trial, but you would agree with me, Mr. Depp, that at a minimum, you smashed up a bathroom sconce during that argument, correct?
Yes, sir. I punched a bathroom sconce that was
And-
right by the mirror.
And apologies if we've already covered this, but this trip was in late May 2013.
I don't recall.
Ish. Okay. If you could pull up Exhibit 181, Michelle, this has already been admitted into evidence this morning, Your Honor.
181? No, I don't have 181 in evidence.
Did we not? Oh, you know what? I forgot that this morning. I'm sorry. So 181.
But even if I don't understand this either, because the lawyer
Yep,
is
that's right. Yeah, we haven't
saying
looked at this one yet.
that
this morning.
he was
Mr.
out
Depp,
of
I'm
control with
gonna
the
ask you
girl,
about,
and that's even what he testified to in UK, and he
third
didn't.
text down. This is a text exchange from you. A text message from you to Paul Bettany on July 11th, 2013, right?
Yes.
Okay. And then above that, there's a text message exchange between you and your sister, Christy, on July 10th, 2013.
Yogi, I hope I'm saying
Correct?
this right. Jaya, 5
text
years
above it,
seems
yes.
right. Yes, ma'am.
Your Honor, I'd move for the admission of Exhibit 181 with just those three texts.
That's what I'm trying to say.
No
Yogi.
objection, Your Honor, with the proper redactions.
All right, we could get those redactions. Okay.
Thank you, Your Honor.
I'm sorry. Could you please clarify which text messages are going to be offered?
The top three.
Top three.
Thank you. Yes.
And now, what I will say is, I'm not advocating or suggesting that anybody Hulk smash objects, right? They do have places for that. But what I will say is that Hulk smashing a sconce is not the same as Hulk smashing your significant other. I was in high school, Yogi, Jaya.
Objection.
They were the ultimate couple. Yeah, I remember going to see them in Edward Scissorhands.
No
Absolutely.
objection.
Okay, 181 in evidence with redactions.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right.
I'd like to take a look at the text that you sent to Paul Bettany on July 11th. If you could blow that up, please, Michelle.
Blow that up is certainly a good term for it. Like you're blowing it out of proportion. That's all I'm going
And
to say.
we just talked about this
No, what? Hold on. Might be me. Oh, I don't know what just happened. Hold on.
The fourth line down, you write to Mr. Bettany, missing you and yours, and await our dangle on the island. You may have to drink for me. I, of course, pounded and displayed ugly colors to Amber on a recent journey. I am an insane person and not so fair-headed after too much of the drink. Weed, pills, fine. Booze, my capacity is too large and I won't stop. Ugly and sad, oh, how I love it. Did I read that right?
You did.
Please, this is a text message from exchange between you and Christy, in which Christy texts you, she wants to talk to me, she doesn't know what to do, loves you, but doesn't know always what to do. She's worried about it all. And you write to her, it was not pleasant today. I wasn't aware she had another goddamn photo shoot tomorrow. That's really why she fucking left. I don't need actress bullshit and her fucking ambition. That's what you wrote to your sister about Amber on July 10th, 2013. Did I read that right?
You did.
I'd like to turn to, you can take that down, Michelle. I'd like to turn to the Boston plane flight that we've talked about a little bit in the trial.
Certainly. Yes.
The night before the flight, and sorry if we covered some of this, but just to orient the jury to the sequence of events. The night before the flight, Miss Heard was in New York and you were picked up in Boston by private jet. So the jet that you chartered picked Miss Heard up along with Savannah McMillan and then flew to Boston and picked you up along with some other people. Is that right?
That's correct.
And then all of you flew back to Los Angeles.
That's correct.
And the night before that you were due to meet up to take this plane flight, you and Miss Heard had a heated discussion on the phone about scenes that she was doing in a movie with James Franco, right?
I don't recall what the argument was about. There are many to.
Let's go to page 293 of your UK transcript, please.
Yes.
Did I say 293?
Yes.
Okay. And on line 22, you were asked a question. The night before you were due to meet up, did you have a heated discussion on the telephone about what was happening with James Franco, the scene she was doing with James Franco? Answer, I do not recall, but it is highly likely. Did I read that right?
In fact, I'm not sure where you are.
Okay. Day
Sorry.
2, page 293. It's on page 32 of the document.
Line 22, I think, is the issue.
Page 32, line 22. Thank you, Your Honor. Line
Okay.
22 on page 32.
Yes.
Too many numbers. Are you there?
Yes. Yes.
Okay,
yes,
so
that's right. Thank you.
question, the night before you were due to meet up, did you have a heated discussion on the telephone with Miss Heard about what was happening with James Franco, the scene she was doing with James Franco? Answer, I do not recall, but it is highly likely. Did I read that right?
You did.
And you suspected that Amber was having an affair with James Franco, correct? That was the reason for your argument.
Yeah, yes.
And when you got on the plane, you considered that she was also being judgmental toward you because she believed that you were inebriated and under the influence of drugs, correct?
That was a constant.
And I'm talking about this particular plane flight.
Well,
You
still
considered that
constant.
she was being judgmental toward you because she believed you were inebriated and under the influence of drugs when you got on this plane, correct?
Yes,
And at some point on the flight, you ended up sleeping on the bathroom floor, right?
I did.
You testified to that yesterday,
I
correct?
did, yes, sir.
And when you landed, you were quite ill when you landed in Los Angeles, correct?
I don't recall being quite ill. It's possible. I don't know what you're referring to.
Let's
Maybe you
take
could
a look
take
at
me there.
yeah, sure. Let's take a look at page 313 of your UK transcript, please.
3:30.
It's on page 37 of the document.
May we approach, Your Honor?
3:30.
All right,
I'm
let's
sorry.
approach for a second.
Now, I know we've lost sound, but they always mute us during the sidebars. So nobody panic. It's me. I'm nobody. I think, Paula, if I had to guess, it is because she was told not to. Or it could be that all of the books she wrote yesterday and the day before are the subject of the questions now. I'm not sure which one that is, but one of the two, maybe a little bit of both. I agree, Mrs. O. It does. It is disjointed and kind of difficult. Oh my gosh. Let me see. Let me see what's happening here. Okay. Don't think it's on my end, but let me just make sure. All right, this seems to be okay now.
Mr. Depp, do you have page 313 in front of you?
I do, sir.
Okay. Can you
Give it just a second. This might be my fault because I don't think it's like the service or whatever, the internet, but I do think it might be like my computer likes to update at very weird times and it's annoying. But
just read, you can read to yourself, the
just bear with me. I don't want to move around and be clicking too much because it's obviously thinking. That's what the circle means. No, really, it means buffering, but
the page 313. Line 14 that starts with the word were. Okay.
Mm.
And then read that question and answer.
Okay. I think we're okay now.
Yes, sir.
Does that refresh your recollection?
I
that you
actually
were
think,
quite
Paula,
there when
that
you
you're
landed in Los
probably
Angeles?
right, that it is messed. There's so many people watching this that, yeah.
Yes, but it doesn't refer to me being ill on the plane.
Sure. Okay. We'll get to the plane ride in a few minutes.
All right. I'm going to Google out
please.
and see
Let's turn to exhibit
Black Mass was filmed.
236, please.
I think it is 2015.
Defendant's exhibit.
Yeah. Ooh, it's on HBO Max. I might have to watch that later.
So
These-
I've got a mess going on over here.
I don't call it that,
Two
coolest reviews, but I do,
I don't have a mess. So, excuse me.
I call it buffering, and
These are
I
text
buffer quite
messages that you
frequently.
sent to
Like my
Amber
own brain
on May
buffers.
25th, 2014, the day after that plane flight, correct?
Yes, okay, yes.
Your Honor, move for the admission of Exhibit 236 and ask for permission to publish with the identifiers redacted.
No objection, Your Honor.
All right, if you just redact as identifiers. All right, 236 and with the redactions.
And blow up top email, please. And in this email to Amber, this plane flight, you write her and you say, once again, I find a place, sorry, start over. Once again, I find myself in a place of shame and regret. Of course, I am sorry. I really don't.
Are you kidding me? Ugh. It's too much. Oh my gosh, this is so annoying. I've literally tried to remove the banner or the ticker from the bottom like 27 times. Come on. Well, now I'm wanting to call it that, coolest reviews for sure. Like now that's just annoying.
Why or what happened?
Hang on. This is annoying me. Just give me a second.
I want to get better for you and for me. I must. My illness somehow and grabbed me. I can't do it again. I can't live like that again. And I know you can't either. I must get better, and I will. For us both, starting today, I love you. Again, I'm so sorry, so sorry. I love you and feel so bad for letting you down. Yours. Did I read that right?
You did.
And let's pull up Exhibit 245 one more time, which has been admitted into evidence this morning, Your Honor.
Give me just a second, you guys. Oh, okay. Thank you, Hope for Peace. Because I'm like, what is happening here? Um, I watched that the other day, Anita. It was very sweet.
Mr. Depp, I know that we've seen this before this
Um,
morning, but your email that I just read to you to Miss Heard, or your text, was from May 25th, 2014. 5 days later, you text your good friend Paul Bettany, and you tell him that you had drank all night before you picked up Amber to fly to LA. You tell him that you had had no food for days, powders, which is cocaine, right? Powders
Sure.
is cocaine, right?
Sure.
Yeah. Half a bottle of whiskey, 1,000 Red Bull and vodkas, pills, 2 bottles of Champers on Plain, and then you write, what do you get? An angry, aggro engine in a fucking blackout, screaming obscenity. obscenities and insulting any fuck who got near. I'm done. I am admittedly too fucked in the head. Head to spray my rage at the one I love.
I just think this is going to keep happening, you guys. Like, I feel like it's just
For little reason.
it's too many people watching at the same time, and it's continuing to buffer.
As well.
And they're about to go
I'm
to
too old
lunch
to be that guy.
anyway. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and just end
But pills
the
are fine.
stream.
Did I read that right?
Give me just a sec here. I'm going to end the stream, and I will go live this evening at probably I'm going to go a little bit earlier because I think I want to pick up where it started to mess up. No, I know it's not me, Paula, but it's kind of like frustrating. And I don't think it's like an enjoyable experience for you guys. And they're about to go to lunch anyway. So this is what I think we should do. I think we should end this stream for this morning. And then tonight I'm gonna go live sometime between like 8:30 and 9. And I will pick up where we left off before they went to lunch. And then we'll watch the like what's going to be the testimony that they whatever happens like today after they come back from lunch, and do it that way. So I want to thank everybody for being here. You guys are great, and I will see you guys later on tonight at sometime probably like 8:30, 8:45, somewhere in there is my plan. Okay. But I'll be live, I promise, and we'll watch this together again. I just yeah, it's kind of annoying, but thank you guys all for being here, and I'll see y'all tonight. All right, thank you so much. Okay, bye.